On this video, we're going to be talking about the 3-step process that BASHAR uses to effortlessly manifest the desires of his into his reality and what he teaches in his channelings. What's up, guys? My name is Nico Rapkless. So glad to have you here on this channel where we talk all about magnetic manifesting. And I want to talk about BASHAR's 3-step process to manifesting more quickly, more easily, that he gets channels, and it's going to bring such a more understanding to how to actually manifest quicker and easier. So if you're having any challenges with your manifestation process, this video is for you. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to be sharing with you one of the key takeaways that I got from BASHAR recently, that if you don't implement this, it's actually pushing your manifestations further away. And I did this for a really long time. So I want to share with you exactly what that is so that you can really pull in your desires. Again, my name is Nico Rapkless. Our channel here is for magnetic manifesting. If you're down with that, make sure and subscribe. We also have a Skool Community where we have hundreds of people going live every single week where we can have conversations around this stuff. So if you'd like to join that, I'll share with you a little bit more about that. You can also find more information on the pinned video in the first comment. All right, let's dive into this. My friend sent me this video, BASHAR. I've been seeing a lot more information on BASHAR lately, and it's a really interesting story. I don't know if you've ever heard of the book Ask and It's Given, but it's a similar concept to BASHAR and what goes on with Ask and It's Given, because it is Jerry and Esther Hicks who channel Abraham. And here for BASHAR, he is a channel for Darryl Anka. So Darryl Anka is his name, but he channels through BASHAR, which it's interesting. I used to think this was kind of a weird thing, but then I started channeling and I started getting downloads. And so coming from this place of I was much more in the do and now I'm more in the woo, and I kind of balance that. And that's the big key that we always talk about. It's about balancing the woo and the do. There has to be a certain level of this just manifestation principle, the mindset, the energetics, but then it's also the action. And that's one of the key components that BASHAR always talks about. So let's dive into these 3 core concepts and the process of manifestation. And so one of the things that I want to share here on this video is to really understand what actually manifestation really is, because it gets a misnomer. A lot of people think that it's like, oh, you're creating these desires out of thin air and you're bringing in your dream life. And that's not actually the truth. What manifestation really is, it's the understanding and the perception that what you want, what you desire, these creations that you want to pull into physical reality, they're not over here and then you're trying to pull them in over here. That's not what they are at all. What they actually are, it's just the perception. It's the perception change, that realizing that it's already created. It's already created. It's already in your awareness. It's already in the ether. It's already here. It's just not in physical form. And so when you have that perception shift and you realize that everything is already created, the second that you create it, you think about it, and you think the thought, that thought sends out the signal, right? And it's already created. And once you understand that everything is already created that you think about, and there's even a conversation about what our thoughts are just already out there and they come to us, rather than you think these thoughts, you put them out and then they're out. Everything is already out there, right? And those thoughts come into here and they get downloads. And that's why people like BASHAR are channeling things. They're not like conjuring things up and saying like, oh, I'm gonna have this thought and then it's created. It's created because it's already channeled it. It's already created, and then they're just channeling it through there. So that's really the core component of manifestation, is realizing everything is already created. Some of it's just not in physical form yet. And here's the thing, is that the true understanding of this is that there's a paradox, right? There's your past self, and then your future self, and then your present self. And so you simply being the bridge from your former self and then your future self shows that that is a manifestation. You're bringing what was not here, or what used to be here, and bringing it to what is going to be here. That's the paradox. You're the middleman of the manifestations. So with that being said, let's walk through exactly what is this 3-step process. Okay. First step is intention, focus, and desire, right? You focus on exactly what you want, and rather than I want this money, like bringing that 2-year-old energy where it's like, I want this because I don't have it, rather than sitting with it and listening and feeling exactly what is meant for you, what is for you. And when you operate from that standpoint, instead of trying to conjure up and being like, I want this, I don't have this, so I want this, or you have this, so I want this, it's about getting centered, standing in your power, feeling it, and allowing it to come through to you and be like, yes, this is for you. And this is going to be a really key component to part number 3 as well that I'll explain here in a second. Okay? So that's the big thing though, is that you have to really get intentional about what you desire. And it is really coming from a heart-led desire, not a head want, right? And then you focus on that. You bring intention towards that. You focus and you bring a lot of energy and enthusiasm and you focus on that. And what we always talk about, it's like memorizing your song, right? How would you memorize a song? Would you learn a lyric at a time? Or would you just totally get immersed in it? Would you absolutely get immersed in it, right? That's how you would quickly memorize that song. And the more that you quickly memorize that song, you more quickly memorize that what is that future that you truly desire that has already been created. That's when it actually comes in that much quicker. It's about memorizing your song. We have a powerful tool inside of our Skool Community that we offer called Vision Espresso, and it's an audio from yourself, a custom audio from yourself in your voice. And it's got all these other little magic principles in there that adhere to these 3 principles that BASHAR talks about with manifestation. But we offer that inside of our Skool Community, and it's one of the most powerful tools. Like, people have gone from a 7-figure company to a mid 8-figure company, or 5x their business in 30 days. It's so powerful. So if you want to learn more about that, again, check out more information. The first pinned comment will tell you a little bit more about what that's all about and what our community is all about. Like I said, it's free right now. Soon it will be paid, but it's really, really powerful. So with that being said, we have that intention, we have that desire, we're focusing on that. We're calling that in. We're constantly, immersing ourselves in that song so that we can be in that energy, right? And then from there, it's all about taking aligned action. So many people get stuck in this more on the do side of like, I just got to take action, where it's like not aligned action. And this again comes from the first standpoint, the first point of BASHAR's teachings is that it's all about the intention, the desire, and the focus. Once you have that intention, desire, and the focus, and it comes from a heart-led space, you're taking aligned action because you know it's something that's meant for you, rather than being like, I want this, and you're just like kind of grinding to it. Right? So if you can take that intention, that desire, that focus, and you know it's for you, and then you just merge it into, I'm taking aligned action because this lights me up. I know that I'm meant to do this, and that's why it feels so good, right? And then from there, that's point number 2. Point number 3 is letting go. Letting go. And this is the part so many people miss out on. I did for so long, and something I get to continue to remind myself and work on and just be more in the allowance, right? Receiving it. And I talk a lot about this inside of our accelerator program, is the art of allowing and receiving. Getting very good at receiving. Okay, you give a lot, but then you also receive. That's the flow of energy. You flow, right? Just like a river, it flows, right? You don't constrict it. You don't put a dam in the river. You just let it flow to you. And when you let it flow to you, you're constantly giving, you're putting out those intentions, those desires, those focuses. That's when you're putting out. Allowing, letting go is letting it flow back to you. Intention, desire, putting out, flow, letting it come to you. And you just keep on doing, you letting that flow. I actually just made another video recently where I was talking about how one of my mentors shared this story with me about how a guy became a millionaire in less than 48 hours after going to a Joe Dispenza event, because he realized he shifted his energy and he started allowing things to come into his life. If you have not watched that video yet, strongly recommend that. There'll probably be a link down in the video description or in one of the pinned comments. But it's really powerful to understand that concept is letting go. Letting go. So how do you let go? Well, I'll tell you that here in a second. But I really want to hammer home that principle about it is about letting go, about letting it flow, bringing it in, receiving it. Be good at giving and receiving. Giving and receiving. The sooner that you master this concept of letting go, nothing is outside of your scope. You can pull in anything you want if you get extremely good at letting go and just trusting, knowing that everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to in the divine timing that it's supposed to. It's so powerful. So how do you actually let go? This is the final step, right? You probably have heard about this before. I'm probably not the first person that has explained how powerful it is to let go. But how do you actually do that? Well, we talk a lot about this inside of our Skool Community and our accelerator program. But one of the best things that you can do in terms of letting go is you have fun. Have fun. You be intentional about having fun. Because how many times are you having fun? You're laughing. You're literally belly laughing at this point. You're belly laughing, hysterically laughing. Are you thinking about, oh, I need to get this. I need to make that money. I need that relationship. You're just having fun. You're just enjoying yourself. So what is it that makes you belly laugh? What was the last time that you belly laughed? There are certain things, like for me, it's like being around good people, having good conversations, little inside jokes. I have my go-to, obviously, if I need a little kick, I go onto YouTube, I check out some fart videos that are absolutely hilarious and just get me hysterically laughing. So what is it for you? Like, everyone has their thing. And the more that you can laugh and have a good time and just focus on laughing and having a good time, the more that you're drawing that stuff in, because you're truly letting it go and you're receiving it. Like, yeah, you could just say be present, but like, how many times are you laughing hysterically and you're not present? Obviously, you're always present when you're laughing hysterically. You're not thinking about the future, the past, or anything like that. And one of the other things that I strongly recommend is that you take in your phone, you put together a monthly milestone list, like the things that are wins and successes and things that you're really excited about, and then also things that do make you laugh, that you're having a good time. Even yesterday, I did a breathwork session with a good friend that's going to be actually hosting our next podcast event, and somehow like that just brought it out of me, and I started laughing hysterically. And so I put that in my monthly milestone list of like, that's what made me belly laugh, because the more that I focus on that stuff, the more that it expands. I made another video talking about this and how Einstein did a double slit test that scientifically proved that where attention goes, energy flows. So if you have a monthly milestone list where you focus on what's making you laugh, the more that you focus on that and go back to it, the more that you're going to be in that energy of laughing. And again, that even just circles right back to point number 1 of intention and desire. You have the intention and desire to laugh and have fun, and then that's what's just constantly flowing in. And you allow, you give, and you allow. You give and you allow. You give and you receive. You give and you receive. And those are the 3 components to BASHAR's process for manifesting. It's so powerful. The more that I do this, the more I bring in. I've been constantly doing this process over the last week, like going hard with it and just like really allowing, and then perfect client just popped in out of nowhere, paid full, right? Just out of nowhere. It is so cool. And it's just, this works so much, and it's backed by so much energetics and neuroscience. That's what we talk about all the time and inside of our Skool Community, right? Now, with that being said, one of the biggest things that will push your manifestations away is idolizing your manifestations, thinking that they're outside of yourself, thinking that they're away from you and they're not already created, right? You want to think about this. Is that like, think about if we're all on the same plane, that's when we track everything in and we manifest, right? But the moment that you put something on a pedestal, there's a dissonance, right? So if you're saying, oh, this money is better than me, right? I'm idolizing it. If this relationship is better than me, I'm idolizing it, thinking that it's outside of me. It's like, even if we start drawing those things in and we start attracting them, we're gonna miss them, right? We're gonna miss them. So until you realize that we're all equal, we're all the same, no one is above or below, nothing is above or below, that's when you draw things in. Because until you do that, you're gonna keep on missing your manifestations, right? So it's absolutely imperative to constantly being able to realize that nothing is above, nothing is below, right? And not idolizing things. And we talk all about that on this particular YouTube channel. So make sure and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Go check out a bunch of our videos, because we talk about that concept and how to actually take things down and not idolize things. In fact, I made a specific video about this, about how to detach. So I strongly recommend that you check that video out. It is one of the most powerful videos that I've ever made. And so many people are just raving about that video and how it's really the thing that helps them really pull in their manifestations quicker and easier. And again, all this stuff is backed by energetics, neuroscience, psychology, and that's what we constantly focus on inside of our Skool community. So if you would like to learn a little bit more about that, you want to become a magnetic manifester, one of the first 20,000 people on this vibe and on this trajectory to truly magnetizing all the manifestations that you truly desire in a quicker period of time in an easier fashion, make sure and watch this video because we talk all about that. It's also the first pinned comment, so you can watch all about that. But I appreciate you watching this video. Make sure and go implement all of those things in terms of BASHAR's 3-step process to manifestation. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.